In the winter of 1916, more than 1 million French and German soldiers clash near the French town of Verdun. On February the 21st at 8:12 a.m., the sound of steel thunder fills the countryside. Once the day's battle is over, 9 hours and 12 minutes later, the norms of modern battle have changed forever. The century of war can now begin.
In a single day, the Germans fired 200,000 to 300,000 shells from 1,300 artillery positions. These were immense volumes. The world had never seen anything like it before.
In the hills around Verdun, each side seeks to bleed out the enemy, an objective that the German and the French armies pursue with all the means available to them. Nature has nothing to defend itself against the machinery of war, and the machinery is just getting started. Verdun will later become an emblem of industrialized warfare. The order from the French command is as simple as it is fatal. Ils ne passeront pas, they shall not pass. The French are instructed not to surrender a single meter to the enemy. By the end of the battle, nothing remains of this historically rich region in northern France. The main area of battle, the Zone Rouge, is still a death trap today. For decades, only scrub oaks grew here. The land is riddled with leftover munitions and unexploded bombs. For 10 months, the battle wages, concentrated in an area no larger than 40 square kilometers. Life itself becomes just another resource of war. There is so much fighting, soldiers must work in shifts. The barrage of artillery is constant. The battlefield is a gruesome place of work. Never before had so many soldiers been killed in so small an area. Shell shock was rampant among the survivors. It is a historical turning point, one with fatal consequences for man as well as for nature.
There was nothing left here, no soil, no humus, absolutely nothing. Just imagine, there was nothing but stones. The humus was no longer on the surface, because having been under constant fire, it had been repeatedly respread. How then could anyone possibly have got through with a plough here, or with anything else for that matter? This was really no longer possible, and it would never again be levelled. Neither the totally destroyed forests nor the fields. No single square metre remained untouched. There was nothing but shell craters.
To protect themselves, soldiers dig trenches through the countryside. They have less and less contact with their enemies. Man-to-man combat is no longer in keeping with the times. What counts now are the range and destructive force of the artillery shells.
The defining mark of World War I is that you don't see the enemy. Death comes from 5 to 10 kilometers away. You can't leave the trench either, because the opponent's weapons will kill you as soon as you raise as much as your helmet.
The hill named the Dead Man, Le Mort Homme, earns a sad notoriety. The enemy positions there are shelled so relentlessly that the hill loses 10 meters in height by the end of the battle. Verdun serves as a test lab for modern weapons of mass destruction. It marks the first time that poison gas is used in artillery shells. It allows toxic chemical agents to be delivered more accurately to enemy lines, killing everyone in their path. Inconceivable numbers of munitions are sent to the front line. The supply seems endless. This changes the nature of warfare. Earlier battles lasted only a few days before men and ammunition were consumed. This time, there's no end to the fresh supply. It permits military leaders to rely on a new strategy: constant fire. All in all, both sides launch a combined total of more than 60 million shells.